I could argue that for me, lockdown started on the 11th of February, being the day my father was admitted to hospital. With my sister, our lives entered a phase of continuous attendance and rearranging, a period of anxiety. But unfortunately, despite all the efforts of the medical staff, at the age of 92, my father passed away on the 28th of March, well past the official government lockdown. We were permitted 6 people at the Lavoya. The surrounding silence was surreal as we followed the rabbi to the place of resting. Normally, one hears the chat of the people attending, but here nothing, bar the birds chirping and singing. I think I understand a little bit more now when one hears of families in other religions having a private burial ceremony or service. Lorraine and I came home to an empty house to sit shiva, a closed shawl, and none of the prayer rituals one associates with a period of mourning. Even as of today, one cannot even book, let alone have a stone setting. We are so used to structure, and here it is all laid out for us, but it had completely disappeared. The steady stream of shiva with visitors, be they family, friends, colleagues, neighbours and acquaintances, all absent. Yes, we had calls which seemed to come in bursts, and that was it. I did not think a Zoom shiva was for me. It's really all about the prayers, and in their current abbreviated form really did not tick the box doing it remotely. So in this shiva vacuum, what do? Shiva, of course, means 7. It is the 7 days where you reflect on your memories with your visitors, who are the source of some comfort. I was left in the main to reflect on the memories of my father on my own. In the silence, you do remember a lot without the hubbub. Things come back to you. You would never get them if you did not have the time to reflect on your own. My father had no siblings, so on his side, the family was small. And I decided, for the benefit of my grandchildren as I sat there, to write a prose of reflections or anecdotes in visiting my paternal grandparents. I'm not very good at remembering detail of early years, but with a quiet, I was able to reflect on what was 50 to 55 years ago, and bits and pieces come in fits and starts. It was a different world for kids then, but it's the little things that you remember, and the simple things in some sense. And you know, when I look back over 55 years, it was all less frenzied and uncomplicated, and I wrote a 5,000 word document for them to read. Not even once Kaddish. Kaddish is a prayer that elevates the soul. My mother passed away 2 years ago, and in saying the prayer, it does do something, zones you out, and you do reflect in a cocoon for a minute or so. You are really zoned out, but without a minyan, there is no Kaddish. But as with change, you learn. Mishnah is an anagram of neshama, so I listen to the rabbi where I can every evening as he does a Mishnah after Mincha and Mariv. I'm told it is the better option, but you do need the rabbinic input on this, and I am learning, I hope. However, one thing you do see in April, which is when I was sitting shiva, is nature at its best. Almost daily, the leaves on the trees emerge. The shoots on the shrubs change. It reminds you that amongst everything going on, there is life. Simple life that you take for granted. But the current crisis, and indeed bereavement combined, teaches you that you cannot take anything for granted. In all the normal hubbub that we live in these days, we do take it for granted, especially the gift of life. You need to stop and take it in sometimes. As I once said to Rabbi Gideon Sylvester, Shabbat was built for the 21st century. You need to stop every week and take it all in. What you take for granted can just go away, and the simple things that we all love or need to do can suddenly be put on hold.